Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our preview for the Blacklist Season 8, Episode 21, entitled Nachalo! Coco Vanderwolf was here just to say the title, Nachalo, which I believe that this is, there's a lot of meanings out there for it. Yep. I believe the Blacklist is using it for the beginning, which kind of makes sense given that this is the beginning of the story.
Yep.
I'm so excited. We've seen the promo. We have broken this thing down to the most minute level possible.
And we're going to remind everybody that there is no new episode this Friday. It is returning the following Wednesday, June 16th. So make sure that you prepare accordingly.
Yeah, put it on your calendar. Make sure you go and you get your popcorn. You go and get your beverage. You might need one by the end of this episode.
We got our coffees right here.
There we go. Cheers to everyone out there. Well, if you guys do enjoy this discussion here, why not hit that subscribe button? Because you know what? We are really close now to 50,000. We can see it.
Yeah, we're 350 people away. I can't even believe that it's happening, but we are really close.
Yeah, you guys can help to get us there. We very much appreciate it. And by the way, we really appreciate all the support on the last review. I mean, that is I believe it's the biggest Blacklist review we've ever done.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who watched and gave us your comments.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've got more good stuff to come, thankfully.
Yeah, and also, I know that this is a weird crossover, so bear with me here, guys. But The Bachelorette is happening tonight.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it. I know, that there are some out there that may enjoy it. If you do, and you didn't know that we were covering it, we are. So we will have a review up tonight. And then, of course, we're still covering Handmaid's Tale. There's 2 episodes left, and that will be up on Wednesday. But even though there is no episode on Friday, we are going to have a theory discussion up on Friday that is going to be all about the Blacklist, the place, the secret bunker. What could be in there? What is it that the secrets that's hiding? We have a whole bunch of ideas, and we will be talking about that on Friday. So if you're wondering why we're not talking about it now, this is why.
Here we are here to just break down this promo. Where are we going here first?
Okay, so we, like Matt said, we did break it down sort of shot by shot, because it looks like in this promo that we are going back to the beginning kind of thing. We're going to be seeing a lot of things, and it looked like there was a lot of it that was coming sort of in reverse. So one of the first things we saw was Katerina being shot, and then her not being shot and still standing there. So we know from what Reddington said was that she wasn't framed and she wasn't killed, and that she's been hiding, something along those lines. So if that is the case, and we are seeing this in the preview, then I'm hoping that means that is leading up to something maybe in the finale where there's going to be the big reveal that she is still alive.
Here's the thing with all of this, is that Reddington had to know when he killed this woman, whether she's Katerina or not, that Liz was going to be pretty darn mad about it. How could, this is sort of one of those unforgivable things. And I think this is one of the things that Reddington has to explain. That's the thing I'm most curious about as we go through all of these, is what is the secret pertaining to this particular event in the past, and why does it matter? And I think for Katerina, it clearly matters if either this was a fake Katerina, someone who was, brainwashed to think they were Katerina.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing is strange. If that's not the real Katerina, why the two of them never really called each other out on that, or why this fake Katerina was out to sort of ruin Reddington. What was the purpose of this?
I like to think that this was brainwashed Katerina, mostly just because that would at least explain why he went up to her and embraced her on the street in Paris, because if they both knew that they were each a fake, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Kaplan. We see Mr. Kaplan do the whole thing where she's just back up on the bridge. Yeah, I guess that's kind of how it went. How? We obviously know Mr. Kaplan is important. This isn't even the first time we've seen Mr. Kaplan this season.
Yep.
I know that there's going to be the Mr. Kaplan truthers out there who believe that Mr. Kaplan is still alive. I don't personally subscribe to that all that much. I just think you can't have everyone not be dead. I think certain people have to be dead in order for their deaths to really be significant at all.
And I think it's hard with this show because they have faked a bunch of deaths. We just talked about Katarina. She also faked a death. I mean, we saw Liz fake a death. I mean, there's been a lot of faking of deaths. So, yeah, is Kaplan alive? No body, so who knows? And speaking of nobody,
yeah.
We also saw Tom's death. And the thing about Tom is, of course, Ryan is over on New Amsterdam. He's doing another show right now. Yeah. The thing about it is, if you really go back and re-watch that whole thing of his death, we, the viewers, never ourselves saw him die. What we saw was this 10 months later, Liz comes out of a coma and Red is retelling what he knows. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to tell her everything, but all these like flashbacks of like him being in the morgue, no autopsy, which is very weird for a murder, and all these sort of things is his retelling of this story. So it's possible that somebody told Red that this is what happened. He's like, this is what I heard. This is what's going on. Or they set it up so that Reddington thinks that he's dead, but he's really not. I think he's probably dead.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there are enough holes around that if they really wanted to bring him back, they could. I don't think it's happening, though.
I don't think it's happening either. But, Rosvet with Dom telling that whole story way back when, we already saw that, we have unreliable narrators in the Blacklist. And, I don't think Reddington explicitly lies per se, but he withholds things. Mm-hmm. That part of it is possible. Like, the big thing I wonder about with Mr. Kaplan and Tom both being in this promo is it's just like, what? Did these two actually know something more than what we have already seen from them on this show? Because if they knew something more about this secret or what Reddington was really up to, like, why didn't one of them tell Liz? Like, what purpose do they hold in sort of Red's recounting of the truth now?
Yeah, especially with a character like Tom, because he did hide a lot and they went through a lot, and by the end of all of it, it seemed like he was going out of his way to find truth for her. So, I mean, if he knew something, then what is he doing?
Yeah, that's what I don't know if those are just being included in the promo because NBC is just like, hey, remember when this important thing happened? Like, we don't really know, but... No. Here is the one I am personally really, really curious about is Sam, because here's the thing, everyone. Liz Keene technically had an adoptive father.
That's right.
All the way back in season 1, he was there, and then Reddington killed him, and then the show has basically decided to forget about him for the majority of the show since.
Yeah, and they did show his final conversation with Reddington before all that happened. So if we're going back that far, how much did Sam know? Was it a lot? Was it a little? Was it enough?
Yeah, clearly... He knew enough that Reddington was just like, no, you do not get to do your dying words. He sort of Dikembe Mutombo'd Sam and just blocked his shot and then took him out. And then later tried to explain it to Liz, basically being like, I'm trying to protect you too, much like Sam tried to do for... I really want to know everything Sam knew. I want to know his connection with all this stuff in the past. Maybe he's not important, but Reddington clearly... loves and cares about Liz deeply. And clearly he was okay enough with this notion of Sam looking after Liz for the vast majority of her life that I like to think he's more important than just this show throwing him in like a wastebasket and then was like pretending that he never happened for years on end.
So it is good that he will be back in some sort of way, shape, or form in this episode. I mean, this is the Blacklist promo department.
Yes.
So, they have done us dirty before. Not in the last promo.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys that. But yes. So there's also this scene where it looks like we're only seeing them from the back, but it looks like a young Katarina and then either a young Reddington or a young Ilya, probably Ilya, and it looks like he's handing her a file.
Yeah. This could it's going to be interesting to see where they're going with this. I mean, you sort of talked a little bit in the last review about how Ilya may be sort of the person who gifted Reddington those packets of information, and we know Ilya and Katerina were obviously very, very close. Now, we gotta talk about the fire. We all know how important this fire is. It is, like, deeply significant into the mythology of this show. I have said before, give me a full episode about the fire. I want to know who was there, what they were doing, what's true, what's not.
Yeah, now I really want to know about the fire after this last episode when Reddington said that there were multiple people there.
Yeah.
Who was there?
Yeah, like, we gotta know who was there. We gotta know what fully happened, because I still don't buy like, almost any of Liz's memories about it, because we know memory manipulation, try to say that 5 times in a row.
Yep.
That happens in this show.
Yep.
We've seen it a lot over the years, so I think whatever sort of started off this whole thing where Liz was so protected, I think she must have either saw something in that fire that everyone is desperate to keep hidden, or a secret was born that night that everyone is desperate to keep hidden, and for some reason she is sort of the key either to continuing this mission or unlocking something. Like, that fire is so, I can't even describe how important it's gotta be.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that because they showed it in the promo, look, you guys have like reeled me back in with the promos. I'm hoping that because they showed it in the promo that we will get something. They may not have to then tell us everyone who was there in this episode, but maybe just like, what is it?
Yeah, and I hope that they deliver with a lot of this. Like, we've seen flashback episodes of this show before. We've seen them on a number of different occasions. I like them as long as they have a significance. Like, I don't want this to feel like a glorified clip show, except with clips that we haven't really seen before.
My hope is that this is going to sort of give us just the look into the past. How does this all sort of thread together so that in the finale we can watch a little bit more of like, what's in the bunker? What is it that, has been sort of Reddington's real purpose this whole time? How is it all connected? And I think going through it all, everything with Kaplan, everything with Tom, like that every single piece of this is sort of had a part to play. Let's see it all actually played out. And I like the idea of being able to see it play out instead of just having like a whole episode of it being told to me.
Yes, and with all of this being said, what do you guys think we're gonna see on this episode in terms of flashbacks? I mean, do you think that these characters like Mr. Kaplan, like Tom, like Sam, are they significant to what we're getting? Is the promo department just trolling us?
And how excited are you for the Bachelorette tonight?
Please, alright, let us know all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy this discussion, hit that subscribe button, get us closer to 50K, give us a like, and support us by checking those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.